and he's there with Whiteman's Orchestra. How did he meet Paul Whiteman?
Well, it was October 28, 1928, when the Paul Whiteman Orchestra came to New Orleans for a performance. And it was in the St. Charles Theater. They had a matinee performance and then a nighttime performance. And of course, that was a real big deal for all the jazz cats. They could come and check out this, famous orchestra, and they wanted to see, their jazz chops. Well, in between those two shows, some of the musicians, including Beiderbecke and Trumbauer, heard about Snoozer's abilities, and so they told Whiteman to come check this guy out. Snoozer had a trick of being able to play 3 parts on a guitar. He could play the bass rhythm, and he would play the melody line, and he would play harmony. So he was doing that, and then Paul Whiteman says, "How are you doing?" Snoozer sticks out his hands and shakes his hands without missing a beat on the guitar. It kept going, and that's basically how Paul Whiteman hired him on the spot.
Whiteman was, kind of corny as a lot of the music that he put out, but he was so important in a lot of guys' introduction into jazz, and a lot of guys graduated from that band and did some good things. Gosh, I hadn't thought about the Whiteman Band being down here and Bix being in the city. That's a nice memory, something to focus on there.
Yeah.
I had a friend some years ago who, in her coming out party, had the Rhythm Boys, which was Bing Crosby and the other two. And so when she was all of about 18 or 19, I heard that. I thought, gosh, that's not a bad, not a bad party. Now, Snoozer Quinn, how did he get his nickname? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, he was with Peck Kelly, who was a pianist from Texas, and apparently he could play so good that he could play while he was asleep. So Peck gave him the nickname Snoozer. I should mention, Snoozer also had one glass eye, and so he kind of looked like he was, closing his eyes a lot, I bet.
Oh my Lord, this is a rich character. Are you going to you're going to do a lecture and a presentation about him tomorrow at the Mint? Tell us a little bit about what you have planned.
Louisiana State Museum has vaults, as you guys know, really rich archive in there, and there's some stuff that is on Snoozer as well as a lot of the early jazz bands. And so what we've done is, I'm writing my thesis on Snoozer.
Good.
I'm utilizing their photographs as well as this really wonderful piece of treasure. It's a silent film footage of Snoozer Quinn from 1932, which is kind of like finding the Holy Grail, really, since we can't find any of his prime recordings. Because now what we can see is that this very early guitarist, who was a contemporary of Lonnie Johnson and Eddie Lang, we could see what made him unique among those 3 guys. He was a finger stylist, and he played the guitar like a banjo. I figured that he brought that technique from the minstrel shows that he was performing on the North Shore in the 1910s, 1920s.
Sure. Very interesting.
So the presentation is at 6 o'clock, and it's free to the public.
Free to the public. Well, I'm very familiar with the State Museum's collection of photos. My book, latest book that came out in November.